Hello, welcome to Wrestling Current Thoughts. I am your host, B. Mitch. Today I'll be talking about what's been going down in the world of wrestling. There's been a lot, so I guess I'll start with this. My thoughts on Raw being 3 hours permanently. I'm not a fan of this idea. I mean, the people who write and book Raw have a hard time trying to come up with a Raw that's good for 2 hours each and every week. So now they're trying to go for 3. It's a bad idea. As well as apparently this will start with their 1000th episode. So I don't know what they're thinking here. I mean, if they use that extra hour to try to showcase the young talent, then fine. But this is a bad idea. I don't think that it should happen. And now my thoughts on Chris Jericho and Randy Orton being suspended. Apparently Chris Jericho was suspended for what happened in Brazil when he kicked the flag. I don't think that this was a good idea at all. I mean, Chris Jericho is a top heel in the company, which is something that they desperately need right now. As well as being suspended for kicking a flag seems kind of harsh and uncalled for. I think that they should have slapped him with a fine instead of suspended him, because that was ridiculous in my opinion and it shouldn't have happened. And Randy Orton being suspended, apparently he failed the drug test and this is his second violation, so he's gone for 60 days. I am not a fan of Randy Orton, so I'm not entirely sure what to think about this. I mean, he is a star for the company, and SmackDown, with him being gone, has even less star power than before, so that is going to suck, and SmackDown is probably will decline more. So I think that Randy Orton being gone will be bad for SmackDown, and I hope he is back one day in wrestling. And this is something that I forgot to cover in the other two parts, and it will be TNA and how they are going to start their own Hall of Fame. I am not a fan of this idea either. I mean, TNA is only like 10 years old and they're already going to start a Hall of Fame. I think that is too soon. I think that they should start a Hall of Fame, yes, but it should be like 10 years from now when the company has a lot more, I should say, prestige to it. So I think that was the case there. I mean, Hall of Fame, I mean, for TNA, it's a good idea, but I don't think that they should start it now. That is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so now I'm going to cut off the camera here, and I'm going to talk about TNA next. Well, the rest about TNA, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in just a bit. Alright, so now I'm moving on to TNA, starting with my thoughts on them signing Brooke Hogan and King Mo. Apparently, Brooke Hogan will be the executive in charge of the Knockouts. I suspect that Hulk Hogan probably pulled some strings to get her the job. I have no idea what they were thinking having signed her. I mean, Brooke Hogan being the executive can spell well, trouble. I mean, Hulk Hogan, I have no idea what he was thinking trying to bring her in. I mean, I have no idea what Hulk Hogan is thinking, just yeah, in general, because Hulk Hogan, by all odds, he should be a great wrestling mind, because he helped build the largest wrestling company in the world, but instead at his old age he's just a senile old man. So I have no idea what he's thinking. And Brooke Hogan signing with TNA, that can spell trouble all the way. As well as King Mo and him signing with TNA. Apparently he'll be doing well, TNA and the sport he was already doing at the same time. I have no idea what they're going to do with him, but this could be some good. I mean, he's gotten TNA some free press, as well as King Mo, and when he gets in the ring, I'll see what he can do. And now my thoughts on Impact and it going to 8 p.m. and going live for the summer. I have no idea like what they were thinking with this either. I mean, them going live, apparently that will cost them, as well as they got a 1.0 rating, so that should go up soon if they would like to like make up for the cost. But that's what I think of that. I mean, in my opinion, they should have been the ones to go 3 hours, not Raw. And before I go on a break, my thoughts on Alex Shelley and Ric Flair and how they are leaving TNA. Ric Flair and him having left TNA, I hope that this means that Ric Flair will retire now, because he definitely deserves to retire. I mean, he should have retired after WrestleMania 24, after that match with Shawn Michaels, but he's still around, and I hope that Ric Flair does retire now and enjoys what he left behind. And Alex Shelley and how he left TNA, and this can only spell trouble with the Guns now gone. TNA has lost the best tag team they had, and now, as far as I remember, they only have Daniels and Kaz left as far as well, good tag teams. And Samoa Joe and Madness, I think that they split up, so I hope that they will have them come back, because they were a good tag team, as well as some more people too. I mean, TNA, the one thing I used to be able to say about TNA is that their tag team division and their knockouts division was better than their competitions any day of the week, and now I can't even say that, because their tag teams are kind of pathetic right now, and their knockouts are kind of stale and not that much fun now. So that's what I think of that. Alright, I'm going to get into Slammiversary 2012 and my predictions on that, starting now. Alright, so now I'm talking about the Slammiversary 2012 pay-per-view, starting with the World Tag Team title match between AJ Styles and Kurt Angle versus Daniels and Kazarian. For this one will probably be the match of the night, especially since for some reason they decided to scrap Samoa Joe versus Austin Aries, which probably would have been the match of the night. But anyway, I hope that Daniels and Kazarian win, because they deserve to go over here and keep this feud going. I am kind of intrigued to see where this goes, as far as them and what they have on AJ Styles and him apparently being Dixie Carter's boyfriend or something. But anyway, if Kurt Angle and AJ Styles win, then I see really no reason to really keep this feud going. But anyway, let's see, for the World Heavyweight Championship, it is Bobby Roode versus Sting. For this one, I hope that Bobby Roode goes over here and goes over 100% clean. I mean, Sting, if he insists on wrestling anymore, he should really be putting these young talents over. And Sting, I prefer not to see Sting wrestle now. I think that Sting should just stay backstage and mentor the young talent and help them become future stars, instead of going against them and going over them month after month. So that's what I think of that. And Bobby Roode, hope he wins here. And then the one that will take the title off him being James Storm. I hope that that is the case. And next up will be Ray versus Joseph Park. I think that this one will probably just set up Abyss and his return. And yes, I know that Joseph Park and Abyss are the same person. I mean, I suspect it will be something like Abyss will take Joseph Park's place or something like that. But this should be a decent enough matchup. And I think that if Abyss returns, then Abyss will probably win, and if not, then Ray will probably win. And now Devon and Garrett Bischoff versus Robbie E and Robbie T. This one will absolutely suck. I mean, you got Garrett Bischoff, Robbie E, and Robbie T, the worst wrestlers on the TNA roster, and for some reason they have slots at Slammiversary, a big TNA pay-per-view, but yet Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, well, not Kurt Angle, but Mr. Anderson and Rob Van Dam, three of the biggest superstars TNA have, and they, at the time I'm recording this, don't have slots on the pay-per-view at all. That to me is absolutely ridiculous. As well as they decided to scrap Samoa Joe versus Austin Aries, but they kept this matchup. That makes no sense to me. I mean, it should be Devon and Jeff Hardy versus Robbie E and Robbie T. That would at least improve it somewhat. As well as, I have no faith that Devon will be able to carry these three to something watchable. I mean, even though Devon is one half of well, I shouldn't say the greatest tag team of all time, but the most decorated tag team of all time, Team 3D, the Dudley Boys, held more tag team titles than anybody. I don't think that he will be able to carry these three to something watchable. As well as, why is it that Robbie E and Robbie T still even have jobs with the company? I have no idea. Why is it that Robbie E is still getting title matches? I have no idea. I mean, the only reason I can think of is that he is either the real life man whore of Dixie Carter, or it's like he is related to somebody who is high in power in TNA. But as far as the matchup goes, I mean, Devon and Garrett Bischoff will probably win, but who cares about this match? Alright, so that is what I think about Slammiversary, as well as let me know what you think of this episode of Current Thoughts. This has been B-Mitch, as well as if you would like to tell me what you think about Slammiversary, feel free and go ahead. And I'll see you next time with another Current Thoughts.